The government give the MPs, some of them get $3 million and some of them get, up to $10 million them get, neighbor. Neighbor, that me is a layman, neighbor. Me is not a politician. Me not in a politics. But me know. Say that $10 million what them get, neighbor. Enough to reconstruct anyway, enough to build house. That is to deal with immediate needs that arrive in your constituency.
Does the member of parliament know this? Do they know this?
Neighbor, PMP member of parliament believe in handout. So when they get the money, one of the MP came on here and cried, I don't know who I'm going to share it. That money, neighbor, is not to share, it's to deal with the immediate needs. Somebody might come to you from your constituency and say, I need this to be done. I have an emergency, and you do that for them. It's not $10 million, it's not to rebuild your constituency, neighbor. Who in their rightful mind, would believe that $10 million is to rebuild an entire constituency? But they like to give away, and they like to play a victim, and they like to look sympathy. So they will always run and cry. Because remember, the neighbor, their goal from day one is that each of them be given $50 million to do as they see fit. And the Prime Minister in his speech yesterday, neighbor, says it well, that all those who believe that we can go on a spending spree, thank God they are not the government. He said it best.
Yeah, listen to him. Here is he.
So those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government.
Thank God they are not the government.
The government has to be frugal. It has to be careful. It has to watch now more than ever. It has to watch every dollar that is spent. Because yes, we are in a good position, no doubt. We have never been in a position where a disaster struck and we don't have to be scrounging around to find $1.1 billion. We have it there. To start, we can start. That is because of the fiscal management of the government that built resilience.
Chuck.
Neighbor.
Yeah.
The IMF says, we're there if we don't need we. The IMF, neighbor, say we are here if you need us. We are not running to the IMF to borrow, neighbor. They are now saying, we have some money, if you need it, come. Neighbor, this is unheard of in Jamaica's history.
Chuck, give me 30 seconds. Neighbor,
go ahead.
Abs is asking you to reach out to her. She tried coming on a while ago, but because I think it's because you're not following. So we're trying to get Minister Charles on before he got to bed.
Well, I don't know how to do that. I've told her to reach out to Caroline. What she needs to do is to send a request here. Isn't that how it is?
Let me see, because I'm messaging her to try and see if I can get it. I shared the live to her as well. Because I'm trying to get her on before Minister goes off.
Okay. We wouldn't mind. We wouldn't mind that. The chat is full though. I mean, maybe she's not getting through. the amount of people that are on online here tonight. Okay, we're trying to see if we can make a little coordination and a link somewhere else. So let me see what can happen. So the box is now clear. Okay, let me see. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
Yes, man. Yes, neighbor. I mean, it is unheard of in our history that we have hit with such a disaster, and we are not running to the IMF, we are not running to the World Bank, we are not running to any of these people. What we are doing, we are collecting our insurance money. We are collecting our insurance money. And neighbor, another thing, neighbor, with all the care packages that the government has been sending out, neighbor, we are, apart from what we get in donation, because people, again, people don't understand how the aid that is coming in work. It's that all we are getting building material and all those things, so that everything will come in are food and drink. Some of them is building material and all sort of thing. So I'm neighbor Carol said to other. So government have to be spending. Again, this is the little savings where we did put aside from day one. Where we are go back but now.
Excuse me, Chuck.
Leadership.
Chuck,
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
excuse me for a second. Neighbor, could you just follow P. Charles Jr., please? And then I could get to add him.
Oh, all right, let me see that.
P. Charles Jr.
Yeah, because Abs is saying she's trying to nudge, but it's not going, saying unavailable.
I am following him. I'm following him.
Yes, neighbor. I say it is unheard of in our history to be doing what we are doing now. It is unheard of.
Sorry, so just a second, Chuck. Harry,
Yes, Caroline.
could you just go back and let her know that we did the follow? So if they could just send us the request.
All right, I'm doing it as I speak. Let me see how many guests we have. All right.
Well, we're trying to see if we can do a little bit of collab. I don't know how that will work.
Guys, can I just ask you guys to just pause the conversation for a second, and Chuck, do you mind, Navi, we just clear the box for a while?
No problem, man. No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So let's see what we can.
All right. Caroline, let's clear the guest area, and then it's going to be a co-host. So I'll just jump down.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So we're trying to set up something here, and hope we can do that. So what's the name of the co-host? All right. So
Yes.
coming through. Hello.
Finally. Hello, neighbor. Hello.
Oh, yeah. So we're bang on 10 o'clock, and we're being joined by who's this? Abby.
Yes, this is Abs, the news lady, and I'm with the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Minister Pernel Charles Jr. So he'll be able to share his updates with your audience,
Who is this?
with your listeners.
Who's the audience? It's diaspora.
Hello, neighbor. Are you're live on radio, or you're in the diaspora, or just Jamaica?
We're all over the world. We're all over the world. You
Okay.
have about 5,000 people talking to right now. So what's Minister Charles' update?
Minister, go ahead with your updates.
Well, firstly, the Reggae Boys have
Go ahead, sir. We're hearing you.
I was trying to act like I was frozen, but it didn't work. It hasn't
Because
get
I
back.
thought you were frozen.
yeah,
Go ahead with
the
your
big-
recovery update.
So we have had a press conference today. It was a really good press conference. We focused on three things: distribution, the assessments, and the partnerships that we have with our local and international partners. For your listeners, let me tell you this. It's a rough time for many people out there. Many people have lost everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. So the government takes it very seriously, our responsibility to provide food, to provide water, to provide support, not just physically, but even for my own staff. I must tell you, we have more than 100 staff members that have been significantly impacted by this hurricane. Maybe about 8 of them that have lost everything, or total house destruction. Maybe another 40 who have, complete roof and flooding everywhere in their homes. Some have lost their vehicles. So it's been a very difficult time. And one of the things we did in the press conference is just to make very clear that this is more than physical. This is a psychological support that is needed. So we're going to be offering counseling for our staff members. And as we go around and as we develop the structures to provide consistent support, that has to be one of the things. So if you are asking yourself how to give back and you may not have the money to buy some packages or some building material, just a simple conversation with a family member might help. Trust me, in ways that you can't imagine. In terms of distribution, we were able to let the country know that from a ministerial perspective, we have gone close to 60,000, maybe more than 60,000 now. And our humanitarian assistance members, which includes Food for the Poor, World Food Program, they together have gone also maybe over 50,000. We have now shifted our focus to a more scheduled and systematic kind of delivery of these packages, and also to ensure that we can do the household damage assessments. Now, what are the household damage assessments and why are they important? Those assessments, my friend, are the basis for you to receive the benefit from the government or from any one of our partners in the future. The assessments provide data on who is in which house, where the house is, pictures of the house, what assets you've lost, and the impact of this on you and your household and your family. And it is a means of calculating the support that is required based on the assessment and the output and the evaluation of that data. So we are expanding the numbers of persons who we use to gather that data. We are working across government agencies, working with the private sector, using the electronic form, which makes it much more efficient, and just ensuring that we do as quickly as possible to get the people in the shelters assessed, get people in the highly affected areas assessed. The faster we can do the assessment is the faster they can get a benefit. Yes? So that's important. And lastly, we talked about the partnership. So many persons will see Food for the Poor and they may say, but where's the government? Food for the Poor is working with the government. World Food Program is working with the government. All of these different entities are working as part of a team collaborating to provide service. And that is something, that's a narrative that we want to be clear when we speak. So this press conference was essential in making sure that the perceptions align with the reality. And people realize that it is the government driving the processes, but it is the government with our partners that are delivering the service as one unit for the people of Jamaica. That's a basic synopsis. But if you have any questions, my friend, I'm here to answer. If any of your listeners have any questions as well. You guys happy for another, perhaps 4 and 5, 9 minutes?
That's us, Abby.
Yes, you can go ahead and ask questions.
Absolutely. No, Minister, I see today that the World Bank is having a ringing endorsement of the government's recovery efforts, actually suggesting that it is world leading, that your response has been world leading. Now, that's from an outsider. But here in Jamaica, Minister Charles, there are criticisms that coming from the opposition and other quarters that somehow things have not gone as smoothly as it ought to. How do you juxtapose those two positions?
Well, the opinion of the persons from the World Bank is an opinion that is comparing our activity to other jurisdictions that have gone through similar situations. Hurricane Katrina and other hurricanes that you might have heard of that have been catastrophic. It is very unlikely that unusual that a government can respond as swiftly and as strategically as we have in Beryl and in this case in Melissa. But of course, when you are in the situation, you don't have the capacity to see all around or to compare yourself there. You just want the support and the relief right now. So I don't see negatively the criticisms from the persons who, other than the persons who for political purposes, the persons who want things faster and more immediate. We understand, because if you were the person in that case, you'd want it too. The reality is that we can't do everything at once, but we are going to continue to try to provide the service as fast as we can, as effective as we can, to as many people as we can. And we have done the best that we can so far. And I think when you look at what the World Bank has done in judging us, they are judging us not just on a response, but on the activities and the decisions taken by the government before. The catastrophe bond, the recovery bond, the investments and the savings that we have made to be able to respond as we are responding now. And those decisions are reaping benefits for Jamaicans who need it the most. The vulnerable Jamaicans who have been impacted will now reap the benefit of being able to get from the government without paying in most cases, and at discounts in other cases, the support they need to bounce back. And that's a very important endorsement from an independent body. Remember, they are independent. They have no axe to grind and nothing to gain by supporting one party or the other. So when you listen to, for instance, the opposition, and I won't say that everything that the opposition is saying is nonsensical, but everybody in Jamaica knows that if you are to compare the World Bank's opinion to the opposition's opinion, there is a self-serving purpose in the opposition painting the government in a negative way. That's just, I mean, everybody knows that. It's a competitive democracy. But what I do, let me just say this before I close, I try to listen to the opposition as well. I try to extract whatever I think is sensible from them, and I try to respond to them and be proactive. What you may not hear from the opposition is that I gave them packages before I gave even my own colleagues. I made sure to discuss with them, to provide them with some immediate support. Is it sufficient? No, not sufficient to deal with all the issues that you have. But in addition to me giving them packages directly, my officers have been out working from day one, and they work in all parishes with no parties and glasses on. Many of them support the opposition, and they're out. So we have been out, my friend, giving as many packages, as many assessments, and it shows in the numbers and it shows in the opinions that we're getting from international players.
Two more questions, sir, quickly. The opposition leader, Mr. Gold, suggested in an interview on a podcast that the government would have left out the opposition out of the recovery efforts. Why is the government leaving out the opposition?
You sound like George Davis. Let me put it this way. If there's ever a time for Jamaica to put down the political batons and focus our attention on the people, it is now. I'm not going to expend my energy trying to convince the opposition leader when I am very clear that he knows the efforts that have been made to include his members of parliament and to include all Jamaicans. He has a right, like any one of us, to have his opinion and to express it. And as opposition leader, I expect him to hold us accountable. But I can tell you that I keep my receipts. So I would say to your listeners, go to @PCharlesJR. That's my social media handle. Look on my TikTok, look on my Instagram. You're going to find a mixture of videos, some showing me interacting with government MPs, some showing me interacting with opposition MPs. And many of the opposition MPs that I've interacted with, there is no video to show it, but I still have the receipts. So if I am asked, I can show you statistically that I gave the opposition X amount of packages and the government X amount of packages. So we have tried to be fair, we've tried to be transparent, and we will continue in our efforts to be as fair and as transparent as possible. Some people will agree, some people will not agree, and usually it's based on their political preference.
Finally, from a caller earlier from St. Elizabeth showed us a receipt of $380,000. His house is destroyed, and he was able to pay down $40,000 on the receipt. Went to the MP Green and was
when it's a
told,
receipt, what do you mean?
well,
A receipt
an invoice from the hardware.
Okay.
And yes, and he was told that, well, you know, we're not at that phase of the reconstruction yet. But the man live out a door. When will help of that nature reach someone like this? I mean, yes, they have food, and the government is doing care packages. But when will a man like that receive some form of assistance from the government?
That's a good question, and that's a relevant question. We all would want it right now. But the reality is the process is assessment, then allocation. So when we get through the assessments at a particular stage, then we will be in a position to be able to show how we are going to allocate based on severity of damage or whatever the process will be. Remember, in government, we are held accountable to the bureaucracy, as we should be. So we have to put in place a system and announce the system and have the system publicized, and then we can effect it. So if you listen to the Prime Minister, he shows you a number of processes: short term, medium term, long term. In the short term, we are doing the assessments, we are bringing in container homes, we are providing grants to constituencies. So the constituencies that are heavily affected should be getting, I think it's $10 million in terms of grants, and some of that can be utilized to do a number of things. But again, it's so many persons affected that the reality is it's going to take us some time. So when you hear the World Bank speak of our process, it's because they know in other spaces how long it takes to provide that support. But we have a good track record. We've made good decisions, and we're working as hard as we can to give that support. Many persons have already gotten support through NGOs, and as a government, as I said, we are as effective and as efficient as any other country can be in these circumstances.
Well, sir, there's so much more I could talk to you about, but I know you have limited time, and I want to thank you and the government. A ringing endorsement from the World Bank, no doubt, is a fillip to the government, and the recovery effort, I know is very difficult, but I want to say that the government, from all accounts, have been moving at pace to help the people of Jamaica. I want to thank you for the collab, Ab, and I want to thank you, Minister, And I want to use this opportunity, sir, to invite you to join us one night exclusively so that we can talk a little bit more about what is happening in Jamaica. I noticed you spoke earlier also of the psychological impact of the storm. I hear the Minister of Information talking about that, because we don't need only to build back the physical infrastructure, but we have to build back people's lives, and building back people's lives include building back their mental health.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Minister.
Well, thank you. Really good questions, I must say. Relevant questions and not just, fanciful. To the persons who are on your live, your audience, and to Abby's audience, before I leave, let me say this. I know, you see, Jamaica is so divided politically that it is often very difficult for persons based on the color that they affiliate with to even allow themselves to listen to you if you're not on their side. I have come to understand that my responsibility is not to force my opinion on anyone, but to keep myself steady and to try to do the best I can do, and to hope that the perception aligns with the reality. For those who are listening, who can't right now afford to take anything I'm saying positively, if it's even after the live, step back and ask yourself really and truly, how has the government done? Has the government been informing you? Has the government made decisions that are going to help the country? Do you think that these things are positive or negative? And if you think it's negative, why? This is the time for Jamaica to come together. If there is ever a time, and if you drove through or walked through Black River, White House, the hills in Hanover and St. Ann and Trelawney, Northeast Manchester, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. There is no time for color discrimination. There is no time for party separation. If we don't build back this country now, it don't matter which party have it, it won't be in a good position. And we all want a good and solid Jamaica. So I want to encourage you, if it's even for a couple of months that we're going to be rebuilding, take a step back. Take a step back on the politics. We can get back to the quarreling with each other next year this time. But let us give ourselves a year to challenge each other, criticize each other, motivate each other, and just focus as government and opposition and people on rebuilding Jamaica.
Minister, before you go, I must ask you this. Misinformation is becoming a very serious threat, even to the very democracy. And one of the things I've realized is that information in Jamaica has to be broken down into several demographics to suit the various audiences. And the power of social media, I think, is not being fully utilized by even your government in transmitting information. You are a senior cabinet minister. What is the government position on misinformation in the society and the damage that it is doing to our people? Because even at a time like this, sir, shouldn't there be some discussions with the opposition and civil society to say, how are we going to transmit information to our people that is pertinent, reliable, and from the required source? I mean, before the hurricane, sir, there were people around Jamaica telling people that no hurricane now come, and people believe that. What is the government's position on this?
So the government appreciates the importance of accurate information getting out to the people. We appreciate the need for us to have consistent communication so that we can combat the several persons who, for their own self-righteous reasons, are seeking to manipulate and to advance misinformation. That's why you see that we are always doing press conferences. We are always communicating through the news. I was on the news this morning, to this evening. I did a press conference this morning. The Prime Minister did one yesterday. We did one 2 days before that with ADPEM. We bring as much information to the people as possible. Now, there is a great benefit to social media and a great burden. Because social media is so easy for people to connect, it gives everybody an opportunity. Everybody has leverage on a platform to say things, and all of those things don't have to be true. So we have to continue to tell people, you have a responsibility to make sure that you assess the information. In my press conference this morning, which was carried on TikTok Live, I hammered this. I said, listen, get your information from authentic sources. My social media, Prime Minister social media, the ministry's pages, those are authentic sources. And you have to make sure that you don't allow yourself to become a victim. Because these people, they are very good at creating the scam. They use my video, they use my photo. I saw something on TikTok with me speaking, and I'm gonna tell you, Jano, I almost thought it was my TikTok until I looked on the handle and realized it's not. So you have to be very alert and aware, and you're astute in making sure you protect yourself. Protect yourself from the scam. The second and last thing I'll tell you is this. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you say something. If somebody does not want to hear, they're not going to hear. It sounds bad, but it's just the reality. And that is why I tell you, my friend, I focus on just playing my part and doing what I can do, doing what God asks me to do, and making my contribution. And I think that this government has done an exceptional job in trying to get the information out. I mean, I'm on TikTok, what time is it now? 10:24. And I'm on TikTok speaking to you and to Abby, because it's not just traditional media. You are the future of Jamaica. The questions you asked me today.
If I can boast, sir, there are more than 800 people listening to you from my platform right now. More than 800. And
yes, and what I'm saying,
since you started, you pulled more than 100. So you should come back.
Your questions and your conduct as a person who has carriage of this interview, you are what people are listening to. You are the platforms. So I give my time to Abby. I give my time to you because I respect what you do. I respect what you're trying to do in informing people. And there are a lot of people who will listen to you who are not going to turn on TVJ or CVM. All right? So as ministers, it is not common for you to have ministers that give so much access to themselves. And we give access to everybody, because everybody is important. We value what you are doing. We value what you are saying. And you're reaching people who I may not regularly be able to reach. And those are the persons who need to know the truth, because they are not on the platform that I am on. So I have to come on the platform that you are on. I have to carry the message to you where you are. So, we give thanks to you guys for giving us a stage and giving us a voice. And if I can give you 100 more persons, then fine. But the reality is you're giving me 700 persons to speak to who couldn't hear my voice otherwise. So we have to use all means and all mechanisms, and as a government, as ministers, that's what we're trying to do.
Fantastic. Great work, sir. And applause to the government. I was shocked today when I saw that coming out of the World Bank, that Jamaica is top atop. Say hi to everyone for me, sir.
Yeah.
And best wishes as you continue the work of the government and especially that of the of your own ministry. Take care, sir.
Wonderful. All the best to you guys. Take care, everyone. Be safe. One love. All right, Abby.
All right.
Hold on, the Abby.
Yeah, I'm holding on. All right, Minister.
So
Bye.
you are the news girl.
Yes, so I'm a trained news reporter. I used to work at the RJ Glena Communications Group. I was a news anchor at TVJ's cable station for a few years, mentored by Michael Sharp. Used to read news on JNN at nights and report news. I got promoted to go over TVJ, but I didn't want to leave Michael Sharp, so I stayed under his wings until I resigned. And though I resigned from traditional media, I still use my gift to bring information to people here on social media who don't actively watch TV or listen radio or read newspaper. So I come live at nights, I read the news, we have topical discussions, and sometimes I have guests on. So Minister Pernel Charles Jr. is a regular on my lives. Minister
You used to
Floyd
work
Green,
at the Labor Ministry?
Labor Ministry, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had Minister Pernel Charles Jr. as a regular, Minister Floyd Green, Minister Matthew Samuda. I'm supposed to follow up with Damian Crawford. So I always try to get authority figures on, to share information or updates with the public who wouldn't generally have access to these people or access to certain information. So that's what I use my platform to do, just like you, to inform and to educate. So I saw the opportunity for us to collab so the minister could share with your audience. So I say, hey, this is a good opportunity. So let's just collab. Let's just jump at it.
You want to collab with me?
I mean, sure. Another thing though, there's an opportunity for us to collab in the future. I'm setting up another live with Minister Charles. He's supposed to come back on with some of his technical directors to speak exclusively about the farm work program and the path program. So whenever that's happening, then we can collab so your audience can listen in on that as well. And when I have Minister Green on, we collab. And when I have Minister Samuda on, we collab so your audience can hear what's going on.
Well, fantastic. And I hope that we can do this some other time. And maybe one of these nights we can just... so what do you talk about on your program?
Honestly, I just come live, sit at my desk, read the news, whatever hot topic there is, we talk about it. I invite my listeners to share their views and opinions on what's happening and what we can do as a people and as a country to make ourselves and our country better. That's basically it. And when certain topics come up, if I can get a minister on, I get a minister on and we have the discussions, they ask questions, and that's really it.
How versed are you on the politics?
I'm not very versed on that.
Well, we talk a lot of politics, The program is politics.
I know. Yeah, I know. I don't really, not really versed on the politics at all. So that's why I try to invite the politicians on to do that part of it. Because I'm not really versed on that, especially since leaving journalism years ago. Yeah.
So why did you leave? And are you full time on this, or are you just something you do?
So I resigned from traditional media because I saw greener pastures, so I went to greener pastures. But
You mean
TikTok, no.
It's green.
No, as in I saw there was a better opportunity for me, so I took it. Yeah.
I know what.
Yeah, so that's why I left traditional media. But I did work in government for a while. And then I left government and now I work at a family-owned business. And I just do TikTok as I wouldn't say a hobby, it's just something that I like to do. Because once a journalist, always a journalist. And I'm a full-time heart health advocate because I have a heart foundation where I raise awareness for heart disease, partner to sponsor poor people with free heart surgeries and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's what I do really.
Well, I'm not a journalist.
Yeah.
Not at all. And never set foot in journalism.
You sound like one.
Me? No,
Yeah,
sir.
you sound like you sound like a radio host where I do this long time. You sound well seasoned.
I tell you, it's my moderator trading me.
Yeah, you didn't hear when Minister Charles say you sound like George Davis from Nationwide. It's true.
Who? George who?
George Davis from Nationwide.
Don't know who that is. Who is that?
Yeah, Minister say you sound like him, and you sound like him for real sometimes.
Is that so? I've been told I sound like a lot of people, including Mutty Perkins.
Yeah, you sound like a seasoned journalist, like Kill Me Dead. You're
No,
a seasoned
Kill Me Dead.
journalist.
No,
So
I
you
will
just
tell
have an interest in politics and current affairs.
No, and I tell you the truth. I've really become interested in this because I've realized that, and this is just the honest truth, that there are so many things happening in Jamaica that are not being highlighted. And you
Exactly.
raise the whole matter of misinformation with the minister.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where, because I don't buy this argument of bias and balance. I think I leave that to you journalists. Balance for me is not necessary. What you must do is to go where the facts are. And if you end up on the side of the facts, if it leans to one side or the other, so I couldn't work on radio, for example. I don't think I could work on radio because those people have their agendas and things like that. But I think there are so many things to be highlighted, and also to dispel misinformation and to put the truth out there. I guess that's what we do, and we've been pretty successful at it. I must say, thanks to my listeners.
Exactly. I've been trying to do the same thing, dispel the misinformation, get the truth from the sources. And as you say, when you find yourself on the side of the truth, you're labeled because, for example, I was explaining why the hurricane is not man-made. I even brought a meteorologist on my live to explain why lightning and thunder never enter the hurricane, right? I tried to explain the whole generator issue. When people talking about they're politicizing the distribution and whatnot, I bring Minister Pernel Charles Jr. on. And them label me say me a labor right, and the Prime Minister pay me for talk and one whole heap of foolishness. And I say, okay, if that floats your boat, then whatever. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you the facts.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I think journalism in Jamaica is pretty dead. When we start asking about drunk crows at a press conference, you know that we have hit a new low.
Oh my God, that was something.
Yeah, we'll be drunk crows. Anyway, have a great night, Abby, and I hope we can talk soon.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, man. Take care of yourself, and thank you so much.
All right, you too. How do I come
25 minutes. 25 minutes up to 11 o'clock. And we're so happy that we were able to join Abby and Minister Charles on the other side of this. So listen, thank you so much. Well, we're back over here. Let's see if we can power this up and get back our guests. Let's see if we can do this up until 11 o'clock. All right? Okay. Well, look at that. Caroline? Hello. Hey, Wagwan.
I'm here. I'm here listening to you, neighbor.
You're listening?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do we? We're gonna go until 11 o'clock. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. So if we have any, could I get back Harry?